Your rival stands before you, fists clenched, expecting you to break. They've prepared for your anger, your fear, your desperate attempts to defend yourself. But Machiavelli knew something they don't. The most devastating weapon is the one they never see coming: silence. While they rage and storm, you become a mirror, reflecting nothing back. This creates something terrifying to the aggressive mind: a psychological void. Aggressive personalities feed on reaction like vampires feed on blood. Your anger validates their attack. Your fear proves their power. But when you give them nothing, they starve. They expected a war. You gave them a wasteland. This is how you win without fighting. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Building on what we covered, there exists a more sophisticated weapon in your arsenal: the strategic withdrawal. The art of removing yourself precisely when they need you most. Machiavelli understood that presence creates dependency. Absence creates desperation. Your rival expects your usual response, your usual availability, your predictable reactions. But when you vanish at the critical moment, their entire strategy crumbles. The meeting where they plan to confront you? You're mysteriously unavailable. The project they expected you to save? Suddenly, you're nowhere to be found. This creates what Machiavelli called the vacuum of power. And nature abhors a vacuum. But here's the masterstroke. Sometimes withdrawal doesn't mean physical absence. You can be physically present yet emotionally unreachable. A ghost among the living. They speak to you, but your responses are measured. Cold. Calculated. Your warmth, your engagement, your usual energy. All strategically withdrawn. They realize something has shifted. The dynamic they relied on no longer exists. This is how you create chaos without lifting a finger. By becoming unavailable when availability was expected. Building on what we covered, your withdrawal creates a vacuum. But here's where the real warfare begins. Your silence becomes a mirror that reflects their deepest insecurities. Some will interpret your absence as weakness. Others will see it as supreme confidence. Both reactions serve your purpose perfectly. Because you've surrendered control of the narrative. While maintaining complete control of their minds, they fill the silence with their own assumptions. Their fears become your weapons. Mystery breeds paranoia in the guilty mind. They begin questioning every past interaction, analyzing every word they never said to you. Your absence becomes their prison, and they become their own jailer. Building on what we covered about strategic withdrawal, we now enter the most elegant phase of silent punishment. The mirror of consequences, where your rival's true nature becomes undeniably visible to the world. When you remove your stabilizing presence, something remarkable happens. Their flaws begin to surface naturally. No accusations, no confrontations. Simply the removal of your protective influence from their life. You see, your rival has grown dependent on your competence, your connections, your silent corrections of their mistakes. Remove these invisible supports, and watch as their incompetence becomes impossible to hide. The beauty lies in the naturalness. No one can accuse you of sabotage when you simply stopped helping. Their projects begin to fail, their relationships strain, their reputation starts to crack under scrutiny. Meanwhile, you remain untouchable, a silent observer to the consequences of their own actions. Others begin to notice what you've always seen: the incompetence masked by your former assistance. The mirror reflects only truth, and truth, when revealed gradually, cuts deeper than any blade. This is the power of consequence. Let reality become your weapon, and your rival will destroy themselves. But the mirror is only the beginning. Next, we explore how to starve them of the information they desperately need. Information is the lifeblood of warfare. Cut the supply, and your enemies suffocate in their own ignorance. Your rivals feed on your reactions. Every emotion you reveal becomes ammunition in their arsenal. Machiavelli understood this fundamental truth. The prince who reveals nothing controls everything. When they probe for your weaknesses, give them silence. When they attack, offer no response. Your silence becomes their torment. They cannot strategize against what they cannot predict. Strategic information starvation means controlling every piece of data that flows from your presence. Your habits become unpredictable, your responses become measured, your emotions become invisible. Building on what we covered, this creates a feedback loop. The less they know, the more desperate they become. Desperation breeds mistakes. Mistakes create opportunities. Opportunities become your victories. Selective communication becomes your greatest weapon. Share only what serves your purpose. When they expect anger, show indifference. When they anticipate fear, demonstrate calm. Your unpredictability becomes their prison. They cannot escape what they cannot understand. Information starvation is not passive withdrawal. It is active control of the battlefield itself. The final stage of this silent warfare awaits, the moment when victory becomes inevitable. This is how true power announces itself. Not with fanfare, not with declarations, but with the thunderous silence of absolute control. While your rivals exhaust themselves in public battles, you have achieved something far more valuable: victory without conflict. Machiavelli understood this principle deeply. The greatest conquests happen in silence. The most devastating defeats occur without a single blow. Your silence has become their obsession. Their need for your reaction has consumed them completely. They scream into the void. They rage against your absence. And with every outburst, they reveal their weakness. This is the paradox of silent warfare. By refusing to engage, you force them to engage with themselves. Their public meltdowns become your private victories. Their loss of composure becomes your demonstration of superiority. You have maintained something they can never reclaim: your dignity, your mystique, your unshakable presence. While they burn bridges with their words, you build empires with your silence. The world watches. They see who maintains control. They see who loses it. The contrast speaks louder than any words. Your reputation grows not from what you say, but from what you refuse to say. They underestimate you now. This is your greatest asset. Let them sleep on their false sense of victory. When the moment comes to act, your silence will have amplified your power tenfold. This is Machiavelli's silent punishment in its final form. Complete psychological dominance through strategic absence. You have won, without fighting. Conquered without conflict. Destroyed rivals who destroyed themselves. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, and subscribe for more.